since June the 1st, among 60 major league starting pitchers that have thrown at least 70 innings over that time. The worst ERA among those starters is Kyle Gibson, Orioles, 5.95. Then comes Rich Hill, who's 78 years old, I think, 5.53 ERA. The third worst ERA by a starting pitcher, 70 innings or more since June the 1st, Miles Mikolas, 5.23.
Oh, my.
Is anybody else tired of this guy? Will Leach and I, by the way, we talked quite a bit about Miles Mikolas on Seeing Red, which you can get on 590thefan.com or through the 590thefan app. And we were not friendly. We were not warm. We were not polite. This guy, that performance the other night against the Mets, and even what happened the night before, and even what happened going back to the Ian Happ thing. This guy's act is old, man. It is old. He's appointed himself like the team leader that will succeed Wainwright in that role among pitchers at least. So you think by hurting the team, doing knucklehead things, it's only going to hurt your team? That's leadership? Getting thrown out of a game against the Cubs because you clearly wanted to, and you did hit Ian Happ after the matter was closed, after that bat swing or the back swing hit Contreras behind the plate. They're close friends, Contreras and Happ. They hugged at home plate, meaning it was an accident. I forgive you, Mr. Ian Happ. But no. Michaelis had to do the fake tough guy act and got thrown out of a game, which made Marmol have to go to his bullpen really, 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 really early. He only got 3 outs in the game. And then you had Friday night. And frankly, I think even now, the way a lot of people out there were reacting all weekend to Pete Alonso was absolutely stupid. Look, Pete Alonso is a guy that, let's just say, for his sake, it's really, really good that he can hit a ball long way, often. Because, as they say, not the brightest bulb in the firmament. I like him, though. I've always found him to be a pretty delightful guy. This thing with Mason Wynn, Pete Alonso does what Pete Alonso does from time to time. He's just completely unaware of situations or his surroundings and just sort of drifts off mentally. So Mason Wynn gets his first base hit, infield hit. Alonso, because the umpire said, we're going to take that ball out of play, he just assumed, okay, it got dirty or something. And he tossed it in the stands like he does all the time. Like when he's coming out, leaving the field after the top of the first or whatever. I don't think he intended to do that, because he's like, the hell with this rookie. I'm just going to throw the ball in the stands. There's nothing that tells us that he's capable of that kind of petty, stupid behavior. He just screwed up. And he more than made up for it, in my opinion, by apologizing profusely to Mason Wynn later in that game, and also by beating himself up after the game, talking to all the New York media, talking about how stupid he feels and how dumb he was, and he feels like an idiot, and it was a horrible thing to do, and I'm really, really sorry. He said he had a brain fart. I believe him. So, and by the way, the one guy more than anybody has said, man, it's all cool, it's all good, was Mason Wynn. Now, that's why you're going to love this guy. Because of that response by Mason Wynn. What's the big deal? Hey, man, he apologized. We're good. I didn't even realize. We're all good. And they got the Cardinals sent someone to get the ball back from the fan who caught it. So what's how you booing Pete Alonso all? Boo your own team for laying down. What are you booing him for? And every time you booed him, you hit a home run. But anyway, I shouldn't do that because fans can do whatever the hell they want. What is Miles Mikolas doing Friday night? After this thing, everyone was aware what happened. you could just tell that there was going to be something done about it in a positive way. They'd get the ball back. Mason Wynn's fine. Everybody's fine. Why is Mikolas like in the top of the dugout step or near the up on the rail, like screaming at Alonso? Hey, tough guy, go out there and throw a punch. See what happens there. You know? Oh, you're going to scream. You're going just like the Cubs who were laughing at you after the Happ thing. They're just absolutely laughing at him from across the field because he's screaming at them. Who the hell's afraid of Miles Mikolas? But for him to interject himself in that situation for no reason, it's like, dude, why don't you concentrate on your pitching? You got a 5.23 ERA since June the 1st. You were terrible in the first month. You had a really good May. You didn't follow up on that. You've been good here and there, really bad, not good. Good, and here's another good start. Okay, now here's a mediocre start. You know, his starts this season, more of them have been below average with the game score than above average. And I repeat, he's got the third worst starting pitching ERA, 5.23 since the start of June. So why is he feel like he's got to show everyone he's the biggest badass in baseball or something? Where is his focus as a guy who really fancies himself as a team leader? Where is his focus in leadership? By screaming at people and you're going to do nothing about it? And you're screaming at people when it's completely unnecessary? And the Cardinals just signed him to a 2-year contract extension? I think that'll end in his age 36 season. If this is the best he can do this year? What's this going to be? Yet another horrible contract extension? Listen, I know there's some fans out there, and did you see that outfit he wore? When they were out there in Denver. Oh, that guy's so funny. He's eccentric. I like those guys. He's kind of wacky. This concocted image, trying to make himself this hip guy, this eccentric guy, this free spirit guy. It's all an act. Okay? 100% act. I care about how he pitches. Other than that, save it, dude. Save it. I appreciate how he's nice to the media most of the time. Yeah, he does the job that he's supposed to do. You're sort of obligated to do as a Cardinal. But I'm saying, quit worrying about trying to like nominate yourself and put yourself up next to Wainwright. Okay, he's going to retire, so I'll be the guy after that. Why don't you do what Adam Wainwright would do if Adam Wainwright was still physically capable of doing it? You let your performance speak, okay? How about that? You'd leave the cowboy outfits at home or whatever you're going to take on the next road trip. Leave the costumes at home. Quit worrying about hollering at the other team. Here's an idea. Get the other team out. He got blown up after screaming at the Mets, who were laughing. He gets blown up by the Mets the next day with Big Vogie hitting a grand slam to finish him off. What? Seriously, does anybody out there digging Miles Mikolas by now? Seriously, what is there to like right now? You tell me. I'd be curious.
Texter says, Miles is now at the very top of my Cardinal annoyance scale.
You got it, man.
Without anything but a general observance, I track that his new contract has turned him into that.
He's got it made, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And, he's also one of these guys. I can't stand this. When a team's getting, look, you got to own the fact that the Cardinals have been terrible. You got to own the fact that the Cardinals starting pitching has been terrible. He is among the reasons why it's terrible. His lack of consistency. And just because he turns in a couple good starts in a row here and there, that doesn't take him off the hook for all the below average or bad starts. But it's why he's one of these guys that does this, which is one of the stupidest, one of the most irritating things, at least in my time at being in the media. But it's also directed at the fans. He does the whole thing. Well, nobody outside this clubhouse believes in us, but I tell you what, we haven't given up. It's that kind of thing. We're not eliminated yet. Go ahead. He's been saying this all year. Go ahead, count us out. We like it. We'll show you. Okay, we're still waiting, tough guy. We're still waiting. Talking about Wainwright. And look, he's sticking up for a teammate, so I'll just leave that alone. But he's doing a lot of posing with that stuff too. Well, we know he's hit a tough little patch here, but we know what the people outside the clubhouse are saying about him. There's no one in here who feels that way. Okay, good for you. Good for you. Doesn't performance matter though? Apparently, Miklasz doesn't think it does. He doesn't apply that standard to himself about performance is the thing that speaks for you more than anything. Anyway, I had to get that off my chest.
Yeah. Another text here. Eccentricity is usually only attractive if you are a winner.
Yeah, or where it's genuine. Both of those things, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of truth there. I do feel he's trying too hard to be the leader, as you pointed out.
The leader, the next leader of the pack.
Yep, because he knows, hey, I'm here next year. Wayne was going, I'm the oldest guy left here. I got the most seniority here. I need to I need to establish myself, and it's really forced, and it's not believable right now. And by the way, you got to win some games in order to be the leader too. You just can't go out there and when I was talking about, I flipped the game off this weekend. That's when you jogged my memory. That's when I turned it off. When Vogelbach hit the grand slam, I'm like, I'm done. I can't watch this anymore. He was just scuffling, trying to get through that entire lineup all night.
And what a joke that is, because you're doing the tough guy, the fake tough guy thing the night before when you didn't really have to.
Yep.
Pete Alonso handled his mistake. He owned up to it. He did right by Mason Wynn. Mason Wynn was like on cloud nine anyway. He didn't even realize that anything had to do with the baseball. He was all good, told everybody basically to chill out. But you're like booing Alonso all weekend, and all he does is basically, hit the next one farther than he did the one before. Oh, you showed him. But that applies to Mikolas more than anybody. And real quick before I start to shut this part down, see, I feel flushed in my face now. See, I raised my own blood pressure.
Oh no, don't need that.
That's not good.
Nope.
He's not worth it. None of this stuff is worth that, actually.
No.
But if you look at where Michaelis is, hold on a second, man. So he's making $18.75 million this year, according to Baseball Reference, and then he'll make 18.5 next year, and then he'll make 18.5 in 2025. He'll be 30 in his age 35 season next year, age 36 season in 2025. Good job.
Bernie, where are the leaders like Goldie and Arenado telling guys to knock off the fake tough guy crap?
I don't know. It's a good question, legitimate question to wonder. That's why I was talking about Friday. They need these younger players that are going to be their future. They're going to be the people basically, leading the way on this club. They need them to develop and develop quick, because that whole clubhouse scene's got to change. Now everyone down there is, we got a great clubhouse. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why you packed it in. Decided to take 4 days off in a row this week, huh? Great clubhouse, sure. Gotcha. It's unreal. All right. What we're going to do? Well, no, I still got time. So what? Yeah. I there's one more thing I wanted to get into, and this is brief. Okay. It's like something that I've been updating all along, so I want to do it again. Contreras and Kisner had a good homestand, even though the Cardinals were 3-4. They did well. The catchers just continue to hit and hit and hit and hit. Now let me dig this part up. Pardon me. because I always have to find stuff. So I thought it was talking about. The homestand was good because Goldie came out of his slump and, had a good homestand, although a couple of games were quiet. But other things going on. Hold on one second, man. I really apologize here. The computer's playing games on me. All right. If you look at these two guys, because it gets better and better, they just continue to hit and hit and hit and hit and hit. So with that in mind, here's the update. Sorry. Contreras and Kisner were 9 for 23. That's a .391 batting average with 6 walks in the 7 games. That's .533 on-base percentage and a .478 slug. So on the homestand at a time where the offense overall was pretty quiet, those two combined for an OPS 1.012. Really, really good. So I backdated this. In other words, I was sort of citing this from, a certain period of time. And so this time I wanted to just put in, okay, what about since the All-Star break? Since the All-Star break, the St. Louis catchers ranked second in the majors in batting average, 347.
Oh.
Because Kisner's getting a lot of hits too.
Mm-hmm.
They're second in OPS, 995 since the All-Star break, first in on-base percentage, fourth in slugging. And the weighted runs created plus, what that means is basically 100 is average. That's all you need to know. Since the All-Star break, those two guys, maybe a little Herrera was mixed in there, just a little. 174 WRC plus. That means they're 74% above the league average offensively since the All-Star break. That is easily the best by any set of catchers for a team in the majors.
That's a great number.
And they brought in Contreras to do what? I think they brought him in because they wanted to bring offense to that position, right?
Yep. Here to hit.
Oh, we'll live with his defense. You will? You mean you were ready to – you pulled him from the starting job in May? That guy? Maybe it's because your president of baseball operations didn't add any pitching, or maybe it's because your pitchers are lazy. You don't take accountability for their performance because they're used to Yadier Molina doing everything for them, including thinking for them. Maybe they wanted to make him the scapegoat because they don't want to say, yeah, we really suck and we got to pitch better. Or was it perhaps the fact that the manager and the coaches let the defense collapse behind pitch-to-contact pitchers? Oh, no, it's all Wilson Contreras' fault. You know what? I give the fans of St. Louis a lot of credit, man. I mean, a lot of credit. Very few people fell for that nonsense. It was shameful. I like the catchers they have. And I tell you what, you get better pitchers, ain't nobody going to be talking about pitch selection or any of that other stuff. You get mature pitchers that are new to the team and they know what they want to do, they'll take charge and they'll pitch the way that they want to pitch. They won't depend. Oh, you're my papi. Oh, you're my papi. You have to tell me everything to do. No, they'll take charge. They'll be men. They'll take charge of it. I like the catchers the Cardinals have. I don't know what they're going to do at the end of the season, but I've told you that, and we'll talk about this later in a week or something. I've told you there's a lot of teams in Major League Baseball that go with a 2-catcher system. Everyone's acting like, because we like to have everything in a nice, neat box. Oh, this is your set lineup every day. No. Kisner and Contreras for a couple of months now have been showing that you can have a system that works with 2 of them playing a lot. Granted, with Contreras taking some swings at DH. And there ain't a damn thing wrong with that either. It works. And they're going to have to rethink Kisner too because this guy's having a hell of a season. All right.